All right, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Structure Free Learning. And today we're going to go to statics and talk about vector addition of forces in 2D using the parallelogram law. One of the first things that we learn in statics is how to add force vectors to get a resultant. And we'll do that here using the parallelogram law. So hopefully by the end of this video, you get a sense of how to use the parallelogram law, which is kind of a graphical approach to finding the resultant or adding force vectors together. They're typically going to involve using the law of cosines and law of sines. A typical problem in statics is to have two vectors, and we'll focus on a two-dimensional space. And what we want to find is the resultant. Normally start with two vectors, and then you're going to put their tails together, and as the law says, we're going to draw a parallelogram. So here are the two vectors with their tails together. That makes them concurrent. Concurrent, which means they're acting at one point. And then we're going to draw a parallelogram. So we're going to draw a line parallel to vector A from the head of vector B. Then I'm going to draw a line parallel to vector B from the head of vector A. Yes, and you can see the parallelogram that's been formed. And this point right here will be the direction of the resultant from the concurrent point. So this vector right here will be the total force vector. Boom. We'll call it like the resultant. And, in terms of vector notation, we would say that R is equal to A plus B. And you could assemble this in a triangle as well. And then usually what's involved is choosing one of the triangles that you've assembled here. So for instance, maybe I choose this triangle here. So I'm going to take that one triangle, and really what we've done is assembled a vector triangle here. And we're going to use the law of sines and cosines to find the magnitude and direction of the resultant force R. And once you've drawn the parallelogram and chosen that triangle, it's really all geometry. Before we do some examples, you should know there are three types of problems that we solve using the parallelogram law. One is given two force vectors, can you find the force resultant? The other is knowing a force, can you find the components of that force in some direction? Third is to actually find the force resultant of three or more force vectors. In this video, we'll do a couple examples of case 1 and then follow up with some other parts to this video that illustrate case 2 and case 3. Here in this first example, I've got a pin support with two forces acting on it. And what I want to find is the resultant. All right, so what I want to do is take the two force vectors that I know and touch their tails together. And in this case, it's already done. All right, so their tails are already touching. And so now what I got to do is draw the parallelogram. Here, I'm going to go to the head of each vector. So here I'm at the head of vector 1, and I'm going to draw a line at the head of vector 1 that's parallel to F2. Yes. And then I'm going to go to the head of vector 2 and draw a line that's parallel to F1. Bam. Yes. And this intersecting location is the direction of that resultant. I think we call that P, and I will use the color, blue, for the total resultant. I'll use a dark blue. And here, from the concurrent point to that intersecting point here, bam, that is what my force resultant looks like. Now, I just choose one of the triangles. I can choose the upper triangle or the lower triangle and use geometry relationships to determine the magnitude of FR and then the direction of FR as well. And I'm going to focus on the lower triangle. This is a triangle that I'm focusing on here, and I know from at least what's given to me here. And so with this triangle now, all I'm doing is working on geometry, trying to figure out the angles within the triangle and using law of sines and law of cosines to find the magnitude and direction of that total resultant. F2 is 20 degrees from the horizontal by parallel lines. This right here is also 20 degrees, which would make this angle inside 70 degrees. This total angle, which is 115 degrees. And then I have two sides and the angle in between. So this is a great opportunity for the law of cosines. So here I'd have that FR squared is cosine. I'm going to get 451.8 kilonewtons squared. Don't forget to take the square root here, and this would be 21.26 kilonewtons. This is the magnitude of the resultant. Then I want to present my final result as a magnitude and direction. One of the things that's going to help me is if I can figure out what this total angle is. And I'm going to call that angle alpha. And so from the law of sines, let's see, the sine of alpha over the opposite side of 10 kilonewtons is equal to the sine of 115 degrees divided by FR. In this case, this is 21.26 kilonewtons. And so now I got one equation, one unknown, alpha, 25.23 degrees, then the angle between here, I'll call this phi, is equal to alpha minus 20 degrees, which is 5.23 degrees. And so my final result here is that FR has a magnitude of 21.3 kilonewtons at an angle relative to the horizontal of 5.23 degrees. All right, let's do another example where we're going to find again the resultant of two force vectors. We've got this pin here, F1 is 25 newtons pointing horizontally to the right, and F2 is 40 newtons at an angle of 35 degrees from the horizontal, pointing generally to the left here. And what we're going to do is just again draw the parallelogram, and I can use the drawing that I have here, and all I do is I go to the head of a vector. So here, if I go to the head of vector 2, I'm going to draw a line parallel to F1. Here's that parallel line. I go to the head of vector 1 or F1 here, and I draw a line parallel to the 40 newtons or F2. So from the concurrent point, which is where that pin is, to that point of intersection is where I'm going to expect my resultant force to point. So boom, like this. And all I've got to do now is choose a triangle to analyze. So I could choose the triangle on the right or the triangle on the left, and it's just going to involve law of sines and law of cosines. So in this case, I'll just go ahead and choose the triangle on the left here. And this is the same as assembling that vector triangle. Boom, like that. So now everything is just geometry. Relative to the horizontal, we have this 35-degree angle here. This would also be 35 degrees. And from the law of cosines, FR squared is 25 squared plus 40 squared minus 2 times 25 times 40 times the cosine of 35 degrees. I take the square root of both sides here, and this will give me 24.2 newtons. And so this is the magnitude of the force resultant. And then I want to know the angle or the direction of the force resultant. And here is the angle that I really want to solve, because then if I know that angle, I'll call that angle alpha. I can just add that to 35 degrees, and I'll know the angle of the force resultant from the horizontal, like this angle right here. I call that angle theta. I can determine alpha using the law of sines. I would say that the sine of alpha over the opposite side, which is 25 newtons, is equal to the sine of 35 degrees over the opposite side, which we calculated as 24.2 newtons. And now I can solve for alpha here. And here, when I solve this out, I'm going to get that alpha is 36.3 degrees. And looking at this here, that will tell me that theta, that total angle from the horizontal, is 35 plus 36.3 degrees, which is 71.3 degrees. And that tells me that FR has a magnitude of 24.2 newtons. And from the horizontal, this is 71.3 degrees. And this. All right, so in the next part of using the parallelogram law, well, let's look at finding the force components given a force vector.